All right, guys, what's up, team? Good morning, good morning. Hope y'all are well today. Let me make sure I'm not muted for my boy Mordecai real quick. Hold on one second, team. There we go. Hey, what's up, Mordecai? What's up, man? You there, bro?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. I'll probably have to adjust the volume so that they can hear you, so hold on one second. Let me mess with the volume.
No worries.
All right, guys, what's up, team? Good morning, good morning. Oh, there's an echo. Let me stop that echo. There we go. What's up, Wendy? All right, let me do a test one here. Say something. Say something, Mordecai. What's up, man?
Heyo.
See, it's not coming in. That's weird. Can y'all hear him? Let's do a sound check.
Microphone checker.
Oh, I know what it is. I know exactly what it is.
All
They
right.
can't hear the music either. Okay, now say something.
All right. Good morning.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Let me check with the chat real quick. Hertz. Yeah, you see Hertz today, man? Hertz is
Yeah, man. This guy won't die at all.
yeah. Honestly, I heard like 4 months ago that they were selling all their inventory, and now, who knows?
Yeah.
Let me see.
I know. I'm not going to. I think actually, Nancy got in at pre-market. Where'd she get in? I know she was scalping it. She got in at 135 earlier.
Oh, nice. That's a good entry.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I said.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, y'all can hear him. Okay, good. All right, so you are good, man. You are in here. But yeah, man, I dip bought Hertz back when they originally filed for Chapter 11, and it was a very cheap trade. It was at like $1 or like 102, and I bought it like 1 or 200 shares, spent less than $200 in equity, I think, and just caught the quick little. I made like 200% on it, and then I got out. But
Yeah.
it was a risky trade, and looking back, it probably wasn't the best trade. But I mean,
Right. I know. I like in this particular ticker, because there's so many things kind of jumping today. I think this one is not going to get pumped at all. This is just more a traditional run. There's no dilutions that I can see, right? It's hard to borrow across all the different brokers. Right. So I think this is more of a safer bet to go along, because they're not going to pull the rug on you.
Exactly. They're not going to hit you with that, offering mid-trade.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just going to give you a little introduction here. So for everybody that's watching right now, this is Mordecai. He is one of the mods in our Discord. Super talented trader. He works a lot with dude, I'm sorry. I know it. It's in my head.
Nancy?
No.
Oh, with the group that I'm in?
Yeah. But if you don't wait, here. Hold on. Let me see.
Right. Okay.
I stopped
yeah,
myself.
You're all good.
Okay, cool. All right. But yeah, he works. Is it cool if I say it or not? It's up to you.
Yeah, totally.
Okay,
No,
yeah,
totally.
He works a lot with My Investors Club, which is a great group of traders over there. They've got a lot of good traders, and he works a lot with them and is one of their kind of, traders that hang out in their room, and is one of their members, and just a really talented trader. Does some really great work with identifying manipulated penny stocks that are pumped up too high and then profiting on their downfall. Does a really great job of that. Has taught me a lot of things in my own trading with regard to like identifying where offerings are, potential offerings that could avoid huge losses in my account. And so just a really good trader. Great guy, been hanging out and helping me out in my channel a ton. So this is Mordecai from our Discord. I'm sure a lot of you guys know him already, but yeah, great trader.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what you had Mitch on here yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what's his new name? Like Story Mitch?
Story Trader Mitch. Yeah.
Story Trader Mitch, right? So he's really big about like the headlines and all that. And, and that's great, because if you're dealing with the mid cap and large cap, yeah, totally. Like you need to understand that and how that's going to impact the business. But since my niche is just really small caps, right? And you know this more better than anybody else, John, how
Right.
a lot of these are just manipulated. There's just a lot of dirty stuff behind the scenes.
For sure.
So I don't, when I see those press releases, I take it with a grain of salt. So I'm really good about looking at the filings, looking at the dilutions, looking at the 10Qs, the 424s, S3s. Really good about now finding like hidden ATMs, like
Right.
CARV, I think had one recently. They had it hit an ATM and it just faded all freaking day. So that's really the things that I was learned from MIC is really looking to see the full story, not just the front side, which is what the companies want you to see. That really nice PR, it's
Right.
gapping up, it's dirt cheap, it's going to go to the moon.
Right.
I want to be able to see, if there are any red flags, and then it's really important too if you're going long. And I've been doing a lot of one-on-ones as well. The people who are starting into the trading career, typically they don't have huge capital. So,
Right.
they go with the Robinhood, the Webuills of the world, and they start very small. And most of these brokers don't allow you to go short. So
Right.
they're like, well, why do I need to like understand how to go short? It's
Oh man.
very important
Oh, for sure.
because if you're dealing with small caps, right? And you want to have just a clean sheet, right? When it comes to that particular ticker. Because if you don't see no red flags, you don't see nothing is going on, then you have a good chance that this actually can run all day. But if
Right.
you do see an offering, you do see some type of shelf, that doesn't mean you don't trade it. It just means, man, I just gonna nail and bail this guy because any minute they can just fade all day, right?
Right.
So it's just being aware.
100%. And it's important because most penny stocks are terrible companies, regardless of what anybody thinks, regardless of what kind of hype people get behind and what type of press releases come out. A large majority of these penny stocks, specifically low float penny stocks are usually terrible companies regardless, but especially low float penny stocks, most of them are just terrible companies that are going to get manipulated. They're going to get offerings dropped on you. Being learning how to short is going to teach you how to be a better long trader, and that's what people don't realize. Like learning how to short is going to teach you how to avoid those downward squeezes, and avoid, those sketchy moves. And so, it's really important. I wish I could short penny stocks. I really do because you could just see how often they fail.
Yeah,
Um,
totally. I mean, it's still stressful too, because
right.
you have a limit amount that it can squeeze against you,
For
right?
sure.
But I enjoy it just because I know they're trashy,
Right.
and I know it's going to go down. I actually have a heart attack trying to go along. And as a matter of fact, somebody was asking me because I have a different nickname, and they were like, "Your name signifies you go either way, long or short." And I'm like,
Right.
"Yeah, I do, but I can't go along with these guys." So I
Yeah.
actually been going long on options recently here. I'm just now starting to dip my toes into options because was it September and August? How dead it
Oh,
was in the small
yeah.
caps.
For sure.
So I decided to look at options, not trading anything really big,
Right.
but getting a better understanding. So if the market becomes decrepit again on small caps, I have something I can pivot, right?
Right, for sure. And options are good because you have a super defined risk. If you at least if you're buying options, if you're selling options, your risk is potentially unlimited depending on if you're long or
Mhm.
short. But if you're buying options, they have a lot of value. And people ask me what the benefits of options are. The buying options, the benefit is that you have a super defined risk. You know what you're risking. You're
Right.
risking what you're spending on that option. If the option's $50, you're risking $50. If the option's $500, you're risking $500. Uh,
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, and I got a chance to meet a couple other traders when I went to Miami. Was it was it this weekend? Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, I think so. I saw the pictures.
Yes, I got a chance to go there, and then we're talking options with a couple other people too from MIC. But it was really cool to be able to see the moderators. I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with Modern Rock or Alex
Yeah, yeah.
from them. I got a chance to meet with them, and in fact, I got a chance to have lunch with Modern Rock.
That's cool.
What was on Saturday? So it was just me and my buddy and him, and we just picked his brain for like an hour. Man, it was amazing. I mean, it's like think of it as like you got a chance to sit down and have lunch with a warrior trader or Tim Sykes
Right.
of the world, right?
Right.
This is the caliber of trader that he is,
For sure.
and it was amazing. He gave me some really good nuggets.
Oh yeah, man. Sounds super valuable. And people don't realize, like I talked about it the other day. Like you can Like buying a course is great, but if you could sit down and have like a mentorship with somebody, that is
Right.
incredibly more invaluable, or incredibly more valuable. And you know that's really where it's at. If you're, you know, and yeah, y'all go check out MIC. Great group of traders over there. I haven't been super in depth with their trading, but I know Mordecai is super skilled in trading, and he is kind of one of their members, proteges. So y'all go check them out as well. Yeah. So as for the movers today. HTZ, I'm watching it. It's starting to rip up over $2. It pulled a little bit of a 1 minute pullback, so we can keep an eye on that. Somebody's yelling at me to go over the news, so I'll go over these real quick, and then I'll release the reins to Mordecai if he wants to go over what he's looking at this morning, because I'm sure his watch list is a little bit better. It's not that his watch list is better. I think his plans for his watch list are probably a little bit better than mine. A little bit more thorough, I would say, at least. But yeah, you see SGBX this morning as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't watch.
Yeah. Let me see. What's the news for this one, real quick?
Yeah. I got up in front of me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're ready. Mordecai sends me a list of what stocks have shorts available, what stocks are easy to borrow, what stocks are hard to borrow. You know, he sends me a pretty thorough, in-depth list at least once a week, and so he's on it. You know. Let me see.
Yeah.
So this is SG Blocks so I guess this is SG Blocks. Them and Blink entered into an exclusive master development and production agreement pursuant to Blink's EV charging solution, and that's going to be deployed along with SG Blocks, which is SGBX's container-based modular building structures. So basically, just a deal with another company. I think they're talking about BL&K, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so yeah, BL&K is up with that one as well. So we can keep an eye on these. Does this one have shares to short?
So yeah, it's hard to borrow at TDA. There are borrows over at my specialty broker, but they're a little bit more expensive. So there's not going to be a lot of people that are able to short it. I know this float here is like 6.1 million. So it is a tiny float. I mean, how much is traded already? It's 16 million, so it's already rotated its float several times already pre-market. It has a market cap of 18 million. Short float's only 5%, so it's tiny. IO percentage is 15%, so it's getting a little high, but nothing crazy. However, they do have a 18.1 million shelf left, right? When I was looking at their information here about SGBX, they do have quite a bit of cash left in the bank. I think they have like 40 months left of cash, so pretty solid. But a lot of their cash has been coming through these offerings. So knowing that there's not a lot of people who are able to short this here, and you have a very small short flow, very unlikely to get a short squeeze out of this guy here.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say, one of the reasons that Mordecai and all traders should really pay attention to the short percentage, how many traders are actually looking to short this thing, and if shares are easy to borrow, hard to borrow, so forth and so on, is from what he just said, right? Stocks that are able to short, penny stocks that traders are able to short, a lot of the time those shorts are going to get squeezed out, and that's going to cause more momentum on the upside, ironically enough. And so that's why it's significant to pay attention to these things, is because it gives you an idea of how much this thing could potentially squeeze up against the shorts, if that makes sense.
Right. And again, it's not that don't trade this on long. Just be mindful of what you're trading, right? You got to understand the behavior of it.
Exactly. So now that we have that one, we can look over to HTZ. I know a lot of people are talking about this one today. This one is gapping up from 103s all the way to 221, where it's sitting now. It recently, in the last 5 or 6 minutes, had a push up of about 20 to 25 cents from $2 all the way up to 225, roughly where it's sitting at now. What's the news for HTZ this morning? Let me see.
It was related to some type of financing.
Okay.
Yeah, secures commitments of 1.65 billion in debtor in possession financing. No active dilution. IO is 24%, short float's 19%. But they have a really, like I mentioned before, pretty big float, 155 million, market cap 163. It's hard to buy everywhere else, but I don't see this being pumped, even though it's kind of cheap.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, just a huge float, you know. Or not a huge float. It's a medium float, but it's definitely not small per se. 155 million in the float. What did you say? Okay, so yeah, the volume today is 47 million or 48 million roughly if you round up. And so, you know, about a third of the float. So nothing too crazy. You know, this one's just catalyst driven. And so, yeah, just they secured a 1.65 billion debt in possession financing. So we'll see what happens. I'm still bearish on this one long term, but who knows what this thing's going to do short term.
Right.
What else we got? We got, oh yeah, we also have, let me see. ASLN is setting up for my crossover plate.
Aslan. I think of the line Aslan from, what is it? What is that movie called? Something in the wardrobe? The line, The Witch in the Wardrobe?
Oh, never seen it.
Oh,
I'm slacking on my movies. I'm a movie buff too.
Yes, okay.
I'm a movie buff too, but my movies, like, I'm really into movies, but I draw the line right at like 1980. Like movies pre-1980 I'm not into, but like I love 80s movies, I love 90s movies, and I love early 2000 movies. New movies are kind of garbage, but you know. But I'm a movie buff. I'm like, my wife hates it because she always wants to watch shows, and I always want to watch movies, you know.
Right, yeah.
But yeah.
Aslan's nice.
Yeah. ASLN is gapping up from 191 all the way to 249. Now, it's looking weak. It looks like the float is small. What's the float? Let me see. I haven't seen the float, but just based off of the previous volume and the previous movement on the 1 minute chart, it looks like the float is small.
It's pretty big. It's 160 million.
Oh man, way off. So yeah, I mean, we'll watch it. A float that big though is going to be a little bit harder to take advantage of, and the momentum's going to be lacking, I think, some in that as well, since the float is large.
Yeah, and they do have a shelf. They do have almost a 80 million shelf left from 100 million, and they just previously had an ATM offering. So if you're not familiar with the ATM offering, which is very different from a typical offering, anytime a company has an offering, they usually have a set price with some type of outside investor. So they has to hit that certain price in order for them to sell, right? When it's ATM, it's at the market. As soon as the bell opens, they can just start unloading. So they had one here recently so who knows, it can happen again.
Yeah, so that sounds scary, just because it's like there's less of a ceiling for them to necessarily hit. They can basically do it at whim a little bit easier, which I don't know if I want to get involved with that. So yeah, I was watching that one, but after that, I don't know, man. We'll see. Yeah, you know, I don't want to get stuck,
brother.
Yeah, I don't want to get stuck in a huge offering and
no,
lose.
But you know what? You got your crossover strategy. You get your VWAP. I get in there for the VWAP rejection. It's all good.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And honestly, ever since you told me that, so if you guys know my crossover strategy, I know we got a lot of people here that use it, right? Two-way shorts into the VWAP. And so if you wonder why, like, I get a lot of people that are like, hey bro, you should have held it longer. You know, hey dude, you should have, you know, kept it longer. There was a lot more room. I'm usually getting out at the VWAP. I'm not trying to hold through the VWAP because, you know, the VWAP acts as somewhat of a resistance line. It's a trend indicator. So when a stock moves over the VWAP, it's trying to change trends, and a lot of the time it's going to fail that. A lot of the time it's just going to get rejected. And like I said, people like Mordecai here are shorting into the VWAP as well, profitably, I might add. And so, you know, in trading, it's all a numbers game. And you got to just see where the traders are on the chart and avoid those levels. And that's the VWAP for a lot of these penny stocks that open up. And so I really don't mind scalping it up to the VWAP. But once we get there, I'm out, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for this one here because I'm sure about you, John, but I have not seen the VWAP rejection or just a crossover strategy on these small caps in a bit. So I had to change my strategy a little bit. So I'm really excited for this one here.
Yeah, I got, I haven't lost this week with the crossover strategy, I don't think. Let me see what I've been trading. We've got a few of them. I forgot what I traded yesterday. See,
yeah, I know you have a really good win rate. I think of mine on the VWAP rejection, last time I tracked it through the trading view, I had like a 90.2% success rate.
Yeah, see, my accuracy rate is high with mine, but it's more so like my daily accuracy is high. So it's like I might trade it 2 or 3 times, and I might win 66% of the time, like two out of 3 times. And so it's not incredibly high. It's like 65, 66%. Two-thirds of the time I win with it, but that is very consistent. So it's like even though my per trade accuracy rate is not like 80, 90%, my daily accuracy just trading it like that, just, numbers game, probabilities. If I can get in 2 or 3 trades and 2 of them out of those 3 are successful, I am green almost every single day doing it. So, but again, the reason I'm as accurate and the daily accuracy is so high is because I'm scalping it and I'm getting out before it tries to cross that VWAP level. And so you shorting there makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, and just for a quick note there, I see a couple people in the chat. I think it's Todd Duff talking about the Aslan flows 35 million. I'm sure you're getting that from FinViz, right? And which is great, because everybody goes there because it's free. But when you start looking at the dilution that they've done recently, that actually adds to the market cap and the flow. So bad thing about FinViz, it's not accurate. So I go there every day just to kind of see what the consensus is. But if you do the math in the Firelands, you can see it's actually a little bit bigger than that.
Yeah, see, and that makes sense too. He adds it all together to get the real float, and especially if these have done some offerings or whatever and added more to the float recently, you got to calculate that in. Diluted it, I guess I should say. I'll watch AS. Here's the thing, right? What I look for and what I've been looking for with the crossover strategy lately has been the extension away from the VWAP. So like how much it extends away from the VWAP is important to me because, like I said, I'm trying to sell before we hit the VWAP. And so even though ALSN or ASLN has all those things, it's pretty extended away from the VWAP. And so I do have a small window there where if this thing crosses over, I still might take it. But again, you guys know me. I'm usually holding for a minute or less. And so I'm getting in and out very, very quickly, just trying to scalp. And considering all the different aspects of this one, it's going to be, smaller size if I do take this. What do you think of NNDM?
Oh, that's on my watch too.
Yeah, that one's good. I like this one.
Yeah. Let me see. Look at the information here. I think this actually ran yesterday. Yeah, they ran yesterday with no direct news. Actually, a buddy of mine was actually short. Did it run? No, it actually gapped over the next day. It didn't have any news that I saw this morning here on NNDM. Yeah. Did you see anything?
No, I don't think it had any news for the last 2 days. What's the float on this one? Let me see if I can find it.
On this one here,
it's 4 million, 4.14 million. At least that's what Trade Idea says.
Yeah, they've been doing some offerings to take us up like around closer to like 27 million. Okay. They have a 50 million active shelf right now, and they have like several shelves going on. So they've been offering quite a bit as of late.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me see. Where's the trade at? NNDM. Let me see. I didn't even look that up. NASDAQ. Okay, cool. So, typically, one thing I was talking to somebody else about this, like you always need to be attention of like companies are gapping up and running hard with no news. What market do they trade with? Is it the NASDAQ? Is it the Amex? Is it the New York Stock Exchange? If you recall, recently, MDLY actually was running up pre-market and it ran pretty hard all the way up to the opening on no news. And it got halted, it got halted with a volatility halt, and it halted for like hours.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember this. My bad for interrupting you. I remember a bunch of traders. Yeah, a bunch of traders were super upset, dude. Super upset, and it was very, very shady. I remember watching this happen, and I ignored it after this type of move. As a long trader, when I saw this thing rip up to 280 and then immediately get rejected, break lows, and then get halted, I'm like, I'm not even watching this thing. I'm out of here, man. Like that is too shady of a move,
Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing. If you again, be mindful of what you're trading here, because this one's actually traded with the New York Stock Exchange. Amex is really tough when anything's running with no news, they will halt you automatically for an investigation. I think this one first started with the volatility halt, then it came back and said pending news, and then MDOY actually came out and say, hey, we have no idea why we're even running, and then boom, it just tanked. Yeah, and unfortunately, one of my buddies was long on this guy here for some reason, and he actually called their office and nobody would answer.
Yeah, I believe that. It's just shady. I mean, it's common. I mean, not moves like this aren't necessarily common, but like pumping a stock up and a company just kind of putting their hands up, being like, I don't know why, you know, like that's very common, you know. And just based off of the movement, you know, they're in this thing. You know, they're the ones pumping this thing. Listen, liability reasons. I don't know why. This is pure my speculative opinion. But yeah, you know, they're involved. That was the Raw special. Maybe it wasn't them, you know.
Oh yeah, we got pumped.
Yeah, by somebody at least. Maybe it wasn't the company.
Pumped with somebody.
Yeah, I got bit the other day. You know.
I know, you told me.
Yeah. Honestly, and since I stopped trading like that, I've been green every single day. That was literally last Thursday, I think, or it was either Wednesday or Thursday. It was my last red day in the stock market. You know, or last red day in penny stocks. Like I haven't lost on any particular day since last Wednesday when that happened, and since then I've avoided stocks that are above the VWAP completely. Like especially, you know, you've been kind of alerting me what certain traders are watching. And so I've been avoiding them like the plague, and I've been great, you know.
Yeah, I know it's important. I mean, because now everything's being like so much free information and so many different social media platforms. It's so easily accessible, especially anybody coming with a new account and you just following alerts. Dude, it can have a powerful move, and you don't want to be caught in the front of that train. I wait till they're gone before I get in. And
it makes total sense. I got stuck because like what originally got me frustrated there is because I wrote a stock up and I was green, and this stock went up to this stock broke highs. As soon as it broke highs, it immediately reversed all the way back down to break lows, and then ripped down breaking lows. It dropped like $2 in like 30 seconds, you know, and it's just like, well, I understand moves like that can happen, but this has got to be just a huge sizing that is just unloading, you know, that it has to be that. There's no other explanation for that, you know, unless, I mean, it could always be a squeeze down too, I guess. But in the end, it has to be, you know, somebody's taking some big sizing, I guess is the best way to put it. And I'm trying to avoid getting that squeeze, you know.
All right, what else we got here?
Yeah, so I'm looking at RWLK. RWLK looks like I'm seeing a float here of 18 million, roughly 18 million, but we'll see if it has anything more in there.
Yeah, they got roughly 18 million float, market cap 23 million. They have a press release that highlighted the U.S. Court of Appeals dismissed a security lawsuit against the company. Okay. It has a 2% short float, 15% IO. They also have a 3.8 million shelf registration, but it looks like it's been used. Now they do have a couple of two primary S1 shelves that are still active, one for 44.8 million and another one for 2.8 million that actually expires in one day. So I wonder if they're actually going to use it or not.
Oh, so yeah, that is very, it's not sketchy, at least they're letting us know, but yeah, but that is risky, wouldn't that be? If it expires within a day, they might throw that out there, and you know, do you think there's a high likelihood they're going to use that in the next 24 hours?
I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, just looking at the chart, looks like they've been using a little bit. Right. But I mean, it's 2.8 million with a market cap of 28 million, so
it's not going to influence it too much.
I mean, it's a nice little slice. I mean, if this market cap was like 100 million, I would like, man, that's like drops in a bucket. But that's what I see. It's
not the end of the world, but it's still worth noting, I guess. You know. All right, so what else we got? We got MDGS is one, a little bit lower volume. DPW is another one. I remember DPW from when it was crypto, but I know a lot of stocks aren't in crypto anymore. And what is DPW now? Is it still crypto or no?
No, they're like in the EV space.
Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah, residential EV 1 mile AC charging will be available for pre-ordering, blah blah blah. Me and my buddy were shorting the crap out of this here today. So
right. Hey, I get it. I've been watching DPW for years. You know, my bad. Go ahead.
No, it's been like an ATM for my buddy and I. Anytime it jumps, it just dumps all day. Yeah. So I mean, it's been so bad. They had so much. They had a whole bunch of shelf out there. It's all been used. They have nothing left on the shelf. So.
Yeah. It's where, like I said, they have companies like this that just kind of go around and they just go by trend after trend after trend. If crypto's hot, they're getting into the crypto business. If vaccines are hot, they're getting into the vaccine business. Kodak. Yeah. You know, if EV is hot, they're getting into EV, and this is one of those stocks, and it never really holds over $10. This thing has been, you know, for years now. Back in 2017, 2018, I was watching this one, and if you look at the daily chart, you can see how much it has been diluted. You know, just really diluted.
Yep.
When you see a penny stock go from $5,000 down to $2, it's been super diluted.
And this right here is a beautiful chart for me. I love it.
Oh, for sure. For shorters, this is like heaven right now. You know, you know, the crazy thing is that certain people buy the hype for these companies too, and you know, it's interesting to look at both sides, but I'm definitely not buying the hype for this one, just because I've seen it. This one, MARA, there's a few other choice stocks that I've just seen move consistently throughout the years, and they're just jumping on whatever's hot at the moment, making some money, and then selling their shares, and then diluting it, jumping on what's hot, selling their shares, and they're just doing that over and over again.
Right. So I know there's a few people asking in chat for different tickers. Is there any other ones you're going to go over before we start going over anybody else's tickers?
Yeah, that's really my main watches are RWLK, ASLN, NNDM, MDGS, HTZ, and SGBX. So like those 5 or 6 stocks are really what I'm paying attention to. If you guys have anything else specifically you want us to, you know, run through, let us know. But did you want to go over your list?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of went through it a little bit. I got DPW, RWLK, NNDM, and ASLN. Okay. Those are my main ones to look at. And, you know, the way I know you do like a crossover strategy. I'm very simplistic in my approach. I just look at support and resistance. I just draw lines in my chart and trade it. That's it. Yeah. I don't have any crazy indicators. I don't have any like the MACD, Ichimoto cloud, or anything like that. It's just VWAP, about the only thing. Volume, I keep an eye on that, and then my lines.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of value in that. Simplicity is key, and a lot of new traders especially get that mixed up, and they think that you just got to do all this different stuff, and you really don't. Especially, it goes back to understanding technical analysis, and it's like, look, a lot of new traders focus on strategies. What they really should be focusing on is support and resistance and technical analysis, you know, because that's going to guide them in the future with their strategies. A new one that's ripping up, I don't know if you've seen this one, JVA. JVA is starting to run right now. It is up to 550 in pre-market, gapping up. Let me see if it shows.
Where is it? JVA?
Yep. Yeah, this one's starting to run. I'm trying to see if I can find the total volume today, but it's not showing up on my other scanner.
Oh, okay. So it's Juliet Victory Alpha. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. And we'll get to your tickets here, guys.
Sure.
See a float of 4 million, market cap of 19 million, short float of 2, just under 1%. IO is 30%. Don't like that.
Yeah.
And no filings. It's a clean sheet.
Okay.
It's a clean sheet.
Does it have news for me? I don't see anything. Or no, wait, I do. So Coffee Holdings, I don't know if that's what JVA is. Okay, yeah, so Coffee Holdings, they reported a deal to become 49% owner in the Geordie Well, a CBD beverage company. So this is a cannabis play, a coffee/cannabis play. So yeah, they're becoming almost a half owner in Geordie Well, which is a CBD company.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, this is the type of ticker, like, okay, I don't really like, because I like to see dirty filings, you know, just any type of manipulation, dilution, a history of that. It doesn't get me excited.
Right. Yeah, and we'll watch it. It's a little too extended for me, unless we get some big momentum. This thing has a pretty big range so far. But you know, we'll watch it and see. One of those things, a lot of the time I'm just waiting to kind of react to what does happen, and I might look at 10, 15 stocks every day, and 2 of them, you know, might set up perfectly for what I'm looking for.
Right.
So we could go over, you know, anything.
Somebody was asking, somebody asked for HP. HPE, this is outside of my expertise. This is a real company.
Oh yeah, this is Hewlett Packard.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gapping up. The news on it, like I said, it's not really my wheelhouse. I could watch it, and I do trade mid and high caps sometimes, but a lot of the time, those are just quick scalping strategies, and so like the long-term view of them is, I'm not going to really be able to help anybody with that.
Yeah. I guess, Bobby, the best way, if you wanted to get some guidance on is, let us know what your plan is. Like, what would you like to see happen? Right. And then post that, and then we can cross-reference it as a team and say, does that make sense? That doesn't make sense? Or if I were you, this is how we approach it. So
right. Exactly.
That's how we do it.
And I think that's, we can look at stocks, but I'm not just gonna say stock's good. This stock's good, that stock's bad. You know what I mean? Like I gotta know what your plan is. I get asked that all the time. Like, hey, should I buy this stock? I don't know. Right. Should you? What's your plan? Do you want to hold it for 10 years? If you want to hold Apple for 10 years, I'm sure you're probably gonna make money. But if you're holding it for 30 minutes, you got to tell me the strategy.
Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly. I think somebody was asking for PEI. Oof.
Oh yeah.
It's under penny. I'm sorry, it's under $1. I'm not crazy about that, but yeah. Let me look at the filings here real quick.
Yeah, this isn't really my style. It's a gap up that failed, rejected at exactly $1, and it's sitting at 61 cents now. The only level I can tell you to watch is that low of the last 3 or 4 days. That is right around 56 cents is the level that I'm looking at, just 56 cents roughly. We do have 2 confirmations there in the last 2 days. But that's about the only thing I can tell you for this one. It just looks weak, not much volume. Maybe volume's going to come in for me, but, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, it has a flow of 65 million, right? So yesterday it traded 11.4 million. So it looks like it's a lot of action coming in, but relative to the flow, there's not a lot of tension on it, right? It does have a short flow of just about 25%, so that's interesting. For a short squeeze, has an IO percentage of almost 50%, so that means there's a lot of outside interest for this to go up. And they do have, looks like they have a S3 filing, and they have like 5 million left on that shelf. So it's okay. It's not one of like my A+ setups, right?
Right. Yeah, and for me, it's not my strategy at all. And so I don't want to, I can't say what it's going to do. I really have no idea, and I don't want to tell people the wrong answer.
Right. If I'm looking for, this is a day trade, I think there's better opportunities for day trades. If it's swing trades, maybe.
For sure. Yeah, swing trading might be okay, especially, like I said, if I was swing trading, and I don't hate that 56-cent risk just because we've got some confirmations in the last few days, but, it is a penny stock. Most of these fail, who knows? What else do we have? We have, somebody mentioned that the strategy for HPE was the crossover strategy. It's a little bit too expensive, and it's a little bit more of a mid cap than I would say, a penny stock. This is a real company, Right. And so, as for the crossover strategy, there's a few things that I don't like about it. Number one is that the moving averages are too high, which means that the drop we had recently, was fairly recent. Usually what I'm looking for is just big extension on the downside. It's just not really my style. This is the type of setup for the crossover strategy to where when it actually crosses over, it's going to be around the VWAP, right around the VWAP as it is. And so for that, I don't like it. But, it's not really my style either. So it might work out for you. I just don't know.
Right. Let's see. A couple things when I'm just going through my watches here. So for DPW, just to let you know, everybody know, they have 1.6 million cash, basically in the bank account. They're currently burning quite a bit of money. They only, after what they've used already, because they actually used 1.3 million, there's only 333,000 left in the bank for DPW. So that means they're going to run out of money in less than a month. So just an FYI on that one. Same thing for Aslan. They had cash of 22 million. Burn rate is about 2.1. They've used 20 million of that. They only have 1.3 left. So about a little over half a month left before they run out of cash. So things you don't want to see.
Yeah. Things that I avoid if I'm a long trader. Here's the thing. I still might scalp them. Might is the key word. Because with scalping, these things are less significant. They're still significant, but they're certainly less significant if I'm only planning on holding it for 30 seconds. Still, it is important to understand these things and to understand kind of Mordecai's thought process with a lot of these, is because these are, trading is not just about doing one thing correctly. Trading is about doing a number of different things correctly, and that adds up to favorable probabilities, and that's really what trading is. And so it's a good lesson on really being thorough with your research and not just buying the hype with a lot of these, especially these penny stock companies. Because Mordecai knows more than anybody, we get a lot of people that just buy the hype. They just buy the hype. They get super invested. They spend their life savings, and it's just it's a sad tale.
Yeah, and I just want to circle back real quick with HTZ or even HPE. One of the conversations we had recently in my team is that, like, with this whole election going on right now and Trump just being a little wonky as of late, even with my trades and options, they've been day trades. I've not been swinging anything overnight because it's been so unpredictable. What was it? Was it last Friday that Trump tweeted about he's not going to be engaged with the stimulus package, and then the SPY tanked and everything else tanked?
For sure. Thankfully
recovered, but it's like that type of uncertainty is not. I don't like it. I can't sleep at night.
It's too volatile.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I have a nice position on T-Mobile right now, and I lost quite a bit because of that stupid tweet. Yeah. So, it's just be careful when you look into swing as these bigger cap companies, because small caps, it doesn't really affect it that much. That's why I don't ever look at the SPY or anything of what the big boys are doing, because they typically don't affect small caps.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And that's been one of my biggest criticisms of Trump. And you guys know me, I criticize both sides relatively, roughly equally. I mean, but one of my biggest criticisms of him is that he just doesn't have enough discretion, man. He doesn't have enough discretion. He knows that him putting out a lot of these tweets are going to influence the market in positive or negative ways. And sometimes it would be better for him to just stay off of Twitter, man.
Right.
Stop tweeting, man. You're causing too much drama for us traders over here.
Yeah. Good job, stocks currency. I see he's been an NIO for the last 3 days. I know that S&P Capital's been on that one.
Right. EV play, kind of like the Chinese Tesla.
I know S&P has been long on that one.
Nice. Yeah, I've been watching this one for a while. Mitch and I were talking about it. Maybe it was Mitch. It might have been Eric. But somebody, and we're talking about some of these. We've been watching this one since it was at like $5. But in the last 6 months or so, this thing has just went crazy with the EV sector.
Yeah.
What was the other one? NKLA was the other one, but I think that was everybody hates this company now. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, but I don't want to get into a long rant about it, but I was always cautious about this one here, just because how it came into fruition. And I think the first time I ever heard about NKLA was like through YouTube and Facebook.
Right.
And I was like, maybe this is the new thing, but it just seemed weird. And of course,
so many pumpers, man. Yeah, everybody's pumping NKLA, or everybody in the last 4 months has been pumping NKLA. The biggest ones that I see getting pumped are NKLA, SHLL was one of them as well. There's a few other ones. Hyliion, whatever that is. I see all those, man.
Let's see, is it too extended? HTZ. Well, I mean, we're coming into the bell. It's up 126%. Does that look like a good buy to me?
Which one? HTZ?
Yes.
Oh, no, I'm not buying that thing, man. No way. No way.
I mean, it's yeah. I mean, if like one of the guys used to trade with, if you're gonna be going this high, I would say chase size, very small size, and then look to scale into bounces. I'm really big into scaling. I know you kind of do like a one shot, one kill.
Well, no, so I don't mean to interrupt you, but since you told me that, you actually gave me some great advice, and that has been helping my trading as well. Which your advice was to scale in to some of these moves, and with the crossover strategy, That's what I've been doing. Like before
okay.
it crosses over. Yeah. Well, no, before
So
it
you did
crosses
listen
over.
to me.
Yes, I
That's
did.
awesome.
No, before it crosses over, I take like 100 shares. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
after it crosses over and we get a nice little confirmation and maybe a little pullback, then I'll add a little bit more. Has caused my win rate to skyrocket up. So I wanted to thank you for that. It's super helpful because it worked. It worked. So,
Yeah, I mean, listen, I mean, trading is hard, but it's simple at the same time. And honestly, the thing that's so difficult is to get that perfect price with the full size that you want. Man, who's able to do that? So there's a little fudge factor, like a little leeway in between, the support and resistance, because it's not perfect. It's not to the T that it bounces and rejects right where it needs to be. There's always a little manipulation or shaking out the weak hands. I mean, you name the different terms, but there's always these kind of things. And I like to kind of start small, confirm, and then add from there. But as of late, I've just been scalping like crazy.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing too. But scaling into it works really well because it's like I can add a little bit, and if I lose, it's not the end of the world. I could just get out of it because one of my biggest issues was that it would just obviously go against me, and that might seem a little self-evident, but it would go against me quickly, and I just didn't, and I would be in too large of a position to where I would get shaked out of it before it eventually rebounded and went up, right? And so when I scaled into it, the initial, shaking out the weak hands, like you said, didn't affect me as much, and I would hold a smaller position, and then when it would start to run up, I would get a better average, a better position, and ultimately have a lot more green trades, and that has been helping me out a lot.
No, totally. And for anybody who's listening, just be mindful of your broker. Like if you're in a cash account like John, scaling is not going to hurt you. But if you're in a margin account, you're under PDT, you have to be aware of the FIFO rule, first in, first out, because I was with Interactive Brokers before, my specialty brokers, and they followed the FIFO rule. So let's say my full size position was 1,000 shares. I can scale in, 500, and then I can scale out of my position or get out of my position for 1,000 shares. So that is actually equal to 1 day trade. Now, other brokers, they consider that as 3-day trades.
Right.
So you need to be, talk to your broker to see if they follow that, and give them the example. If I do ABC, does this actually count as 1-day trade or a 3-day trade? So be mindful of that if you're in a margin account under PDT.
Right. I think TD Ameritrade counts it as multiple, day trades if you try to scale in or out. Which, if you have a cash account, like you said, not that big of a deal. But yeah, be careful if you have a margin account because that'll blow all your day trades. You don't want to get stuck in what's it called? You don't want to get your account frozen because they will freeze your account if you break PDT.
Yeah, that sucks.
90 days, no money. What do you think about the job stock today? JOB? I think I heard that one in the last week, right? It's one of these, this is a very common tale, right? Pump up, rejection at pre-market highs, and, fade back down. Maybe you'll never see it again. Maybe you will. $1 support is right underneath us, so we can keep an eye on that. But yeah, I mean, low volume died down. Hype is over with JOB. And for me as a long trader, it's just, not really what I'm looking at and just not really what I'm interested in just because the volume's not necessarily there. I use pre-market support and resistance so heavily with my own trading that if a stock is not moving in this current pre-market session, then it's usually something that I'm not super interested in. Look at GTT, Mordecai. Look at that, man. That thing is pushing up too. It recently popped off here. Decent volume. Looks like it's averaging about 20,000 shares per minute in pre-market. Let me see what the float is.
Pretty big. I mean, it's 42 million float, 305 million market cap. So it's almost like a real company to me. No offerings. They got a clean filing. Short float 25%, IO 77%. Oof, don't like that. So no, it's actually
real company. Yeah. The news for this, just to give everybody the news. This is they reached a 2.15 billion definitive agreement to sell infrastructure division to One Squared Capital. So they're selling 2.15 billion worth of infrastructure to another company, and that's going to be a lot of money that came in for this one. So that is causing a lot of bullish sentiment. Obviously, I'm watching it around 7, and obviously the pre-market high at 725, but it's a little bit too extended for me and my my own crossover strategy.
Yeah. Let's see. It's hard to borrow on both of my brokers, but I mean, the only reason I would get really excited for this if it just gets nutty, and they just play technical analysis.
Right.
Let me see, Jay Rodriguez. No, I don't have a Discord channel. If that's what you mean, I'm actually in Beginners Traders Discord room.
Right. Yeah, if you want to, and he does free one-on-one sessions. He's probably pretty booked for those, and you know, you got to schedule them, you know, a decent amount of time in advance. But even myself have done one of these with Mordecai, and it was super valuable. Really helped me. You know, as a long trader, there's certain things that I need to learn to avoid in some of these terrible penny stocks, and that's what he basically taught me. He taught me how to research deeper into these companies, look at potential squeezes on the upside and potential offerings that can get dropped on these companies that I need to avoid and watch out for. And so just a really valuable, you know, meeting I had with him. I'll post our Discord link, and you guys can reach out to him and talk to him if you want to kind of get that scheduled. He does them completely free. He doesn't charge for any of them, just a way to give back to the trading community. And yeah, if you want to tell them more about that, you can. But yeah, here's the Discord link right here.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing some one-on-one sessions. Yeah, I'll post it after I'm done trading the website. You can go ahead and schedule a meeting with me. But it's typically a 1-hour session, and it really is custom to you. I mean, most people, like, probably the most common thing that I've been doing right now, because everybody asks me, like, what's the best strategy out there? You know, what's the best indicator to use? It all starts with your process, meaning, like, how do you identify the right tickers? Are you looking into the fundamental piece, right? How are you justifying that this is the right stock for you to get into? Because if you don't, then you just seeing somebody on YouTube pumping it, and you see a really nice press release, and then you just jump on it. You're just asking to blow up your account.
Right.
So most of my sessions have been really about kind of walking through your day, seeing what you do, and then tweaking it and see, you know, if I were you, like, this is what I would do differently. Right. And Sarah Lee, I think I said that name right. What is an IO? That's institutional ownership, very different from insider ownership. And that's something from a short perspective, I want to be aware about, because there's a lot of outside investors that have a lot of money in this company. They don't want to see the stock price to go down. Right. So if I do see a high IO and it's something I want to trade, then it's more of a nail and bail trade. It's not something that I would think that's going to fade all day.
Right. And that makes sense. That makes complete sense. And that's a good way to look at it too. Do we know the point behind the PDT rule? So here's the thing. They say the PDT rule is to protect traders. It's really not. It's actually to give your broker more time. It's really the main reason there's a PDT rule. It's simply just to give your broker a little bit more time and allow them to. It's just more beneficial for your broker, the PDT rule, over individual investors. Sure, it might help individual investors and traders, but the reality is that a lot of the time the PDT rule just causes people to take way bigger sizing than they should as a brand new trader, because they want to get around the PDT rule and gain that experience. But you know, it is what it is. Maybe they'll get rid of it one day. But here's the thing. If you're looking to trade penny stocks, the PDT rule is relatively insignificant as long as you just want to go long. Like, if you could just go long and you're okay with going long, the PDT rule doesn't really affect you that much if you have a cash account with penny stocks. Because, like I said, I've got an $8,000 account, and I can use $4,000 in equity one day, $4,000 equity the next, and trade fine. I trade 30, 40 times a week, easily. And so the only way the PDT rule is really going to affect you is if you want to go short. Mordecai, do you want to write a book?
What?
Somebody said, "Hey, do you want to write a book?"
No. That's all John right there. He has what? How many books do you have under your belt?
About 40, 30, maybe 30, 40.
Dude, I can barely write a paragraph, let alone a book.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna say the name of the books because I don't want nonsense from people here. But yeah, I'm a writer. It's ironic though. I hate writing. I do not like writing at all. It's not something I enjoy at all. I think I'm okay at it, but I genuinely dislike writing. It's not that I dislike writing. I hate having a deadline for writing, and so I could never be a professional writer. I could never be that because I hate them saying you need to give me this in an hour. I'd rather just let my mind go at its own pace.
Let me see. Judge says, any advice for people with $500 account? Yeah, invest that into your education.
Right. 100%. I was gonna say save up more money. Yeah.
Seriously, I mean, it's like my mentor told me, it's like you can literally make the same amount of money as a doctor or a lawyer can, or even more, right? If you really put the hard work. But what comes behind that? A lot of education, right? It's like if you're trying to be a brain surgeon, you're not going to watch a couple of YouTube videos and cool, you're out there and performing surgery. Heck no, right? So there's a lot of like education you need to do. There's a lot of training you need to do behind that before you start investing your hard-earned money and gambling.
For sure. And that's basically what it is. It's, you know, great analogy, by the way. I think people need to understand, like, look, anything worth learning is going to take you years. And this is definitely one of those things. Like, it's not going to, you're not going to jump in and you might jump in and get lucky and make some money. Similar to how a amateur poker player might jump in playing poker and make some money initially, right? But over the long term, you're going to lose. You're not going to be a brand new poker player that's never played poker before and all of a sudden start winning the World Series of Poker. You're just not, you know. And same thing, you could, but it's highly, highly unlikely, and that's what people need to understand. You know, it's not. This is not something that, as a new trader, you are just going to, you know, change your life in a month. You know what I mean? If you do, you're trading too large. You know.
Right. And then Alexandra, there, you know, you said what's people ask for $30,000 just because you can afford a bigger account that gives you the right to start going out there and trading as well. Right. Same difference. It's all based on your experience. If you have very limited experience, you know, save your money. Right? Don't use that as your trading tuition, right? Use that towards your education, and then when you're ready to invest that 30K, you have a much solid foundation when it comes to trading, and then you're gonna have confidence. Because dude, I mean, I think the biggest trouble people have is fighting that FOMO, fighting their own personal self-doubt and confidence. I mean, dude, if you can overcome that, then you can be killer.
Right, for sure. And it's one of those things where, you know, I really agree with what you just said, which is that just because you have the money does not mean you should use it. Learn small first, you know, and you might think, oh, well, I'm just going to use a small percentage of my account, it's fine. No, you're not. You know, if you're a brand new trader, you're gonna get emotional about trading. You know, revenge trading is real. You have to take it slow, because you have to understand, as a brand new trader, you're almost certainly going to lose your first 1 or 2 accounts. Just it's almost a given in trading. You're going to lose your first few accounts, and if you don't, you're just very lucky. You know.
So Marlon, who's my mentor, currently it's Monorock, Alex, and Tosh, T. Bradley 90 from my investing club.
Right. Yeah, they're great traders over there. Let me see. Yeah, if you got a link for them you want to post, go ahead, man. Also, no, I'm serious. You know, like I said, I'm open to.
Really?
You know, yeah. Well, no, we've had a few traders here in the last week, and you know, they all post stuff. So you know, whatever you want to post, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You know, I've just been here to help you out, right? And help your channel and your Discord.
Yeah, I appreciate.
Because I don't get anything by posting them except that, you know, learn how to trade the right way and be an independent trader.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's wise advice. In the end, it takes time to really learn, and trading is so much of a conditioning thing, where you have to condition yourself to make the right decisions. You have to kind of condition yourself to, through repetition, to do the correct things and to avoid doing the wrong things, and that takes time. You know, even if you know the best strategies, and even if you have the best, you know, strategies in the game, it's still going to take some conditioning, some repetition. You know, like Pavlov and the dog, it's still going to take time for you to really grasp what you need to do in those instances. So it's an important aspect of it. We got 1 minute until the market open, guys. I'm going to start getting everything ready.
Yeah, go ahead and get ready. I'm just going to say my goodbye, guys. It's awesome, John. Keep bring me back here again. I'm more than happy to come back anytime if the crew wants me to. Yeah. I'm always in the pre-market anyways, early in the morning. Me and Nancy kind of help out. I'll put in alerts, filings, and whatnot. But I got to jump on my team call so we can try to hit the opening bell. Good luck, everyone.
No worries, hey, we appreciate it, man. Have a good day. Good luck in the market. And yeah, I'm sure we'll have him back. So everybody say thank you to Mordecai. Like I said, join our Discord if you want to, if you want to reach out to him. He does do one-on-ones. If you want more information, ask him any questions, just check out our Discord. He's Mordecai there. I'll tag him real quick, and I'll post that Discord link one more time.
Cool. See you guys.
But later, man. Good luck, bro. right, guys, here's the bell. Good luck, team. Let's do this. All right, guys. So yeah, I'm watching Hertz. Also watching SGBX. I'm still watching ALRN. Let me see what else we got, team. All right, so I'm seeing RWLK move up here. I'm also watching ASLN, NNDM maybe, ALSN or ASLN is looking okay for the crossover strategy. And so if we start to get a red to green move with these, I might watch this as well. Again, I'm watching NNDM2 here. We're going to keep an eye on NNDM. Let me put the crossover setup. It's a little bit too close to the VWAP, though, I think, for NNDM. What was the other one that we were watching? SGBX was it. So we're keeping an eye on SGBX as well. That one's extended below the VWAP too, so we can watch that one, but it is pulling a green to red move currently. NNDM just hammered up though, so you know, a little bit too extended for me. Didn't quite get that crossover yet. I am watching ASLN. JVA was the other one. What was the other one? It was like GGT or something like that. What was that one, guy? Was it GGT or was it GTT? It was GTT. So yeah, we're keeping an eye on that one too. Yeah, ASLN falling down some at the opening bell here. We also got to be careful. It's Friday. We usually have lower volume both in our stream numbers and, you know, both in our stream numbers and in volume in the overall market here. We can watch HTZ here as well. Let me see what else we got. Alright, so still watching ASLN. I don't mind this red move. HTZ, on the other hand, guys, BMRA is showing up. HTZ had a big rip at the opening bell, though, so we did get HTZ ripping up some. I'm still watching MDGS. We're also keeping an eye on BMRA that's showing up on the scanners here, and that may pull some type of move if we can keep an eye on it. Yeah, I got a bunch of equity today, too, so I got a lot of opportunity to trade here. Looking at BMRA, BMRA is making some moves. We got FRSX. BRMA. I might jump in this with like 40 shares, maybe 50 shares, and see if we can see if we get a pullback here real quick. No fill. I could buy a market order here. I'm looking at GTT, ASLN as well, BMRA. There's a pullback to 490s. Back to 495s. Keeping an eye on that. I'm still watching ALSN here, though. I don't mind this move right now, though. Let me see if I can get a good entry here. The float's too small, I think. Not too small, but the spread's too large for BMRA, which means there's not enough volume, so I'm going to wait. SGBX is about to pull the crossover, it looks like, so we're keeping an eye on this one here, too. I might jump in with like 50 shares here. Come on. Alright, we're in with 50 shares of this one. We're going to see if we can add a little bit more on maybe a pullback or a dip. It might get rejected at 375 though. But a pullback down to like 360s looks okay here. Pullback 60s. Ooh. The huge wicks and candles here. I think I gotta use 350 as my risk. Let it get work. 60s, okay. Hey, so we're just at 50 shares. There's some momentum coming in. Alright, we're in with 100 shares here, and we're gonna sell pretty quickly if we can get a squeeze over this level. Alright, we gotta have a half there, just a little trade. Holding 50 shares, small position so far. Like I said, I try to sell before the VWAP, but if we get a too drastic of a pullback, I'm just gonna have to get out of this. A lot of upwicks now. We're gonna see if we can fight over 75s and continue on this kind of run up here. I don't mind adding a little bit more. Still watching ASLN here too. There's 77s, 78s, 79s, 80s. So we're okay here. Let's see if we can continue up. 81s, 83s, nice. Alright, we bought a little bit more here. We're gonna get out some more there. Holding 50 shares left. I really didn't mean to buy more there, honestly, if I'm being honest with myself. There's the rejection at the VWAP that we've been talking about this whole time. So we're gonna let it get down here and then bail out if it can't hold here. Yeah, I'm gonna get out there. There's the bail. Like I said, there's the rejection at the VWAP. I kind of botched that one, if I'm being honest with myself. I added a little bit. I added when I wanted to sell the last position. It was like a $10 gain, and I added instead of exited. Unfortunately, there. BMRA eventually did what I wanted it to, but didn't really catch that. ASLN is another one I was watching, but you know, nothing yet. See if we can catch some more scalps here quick, if we can. I went with 50 shares of this. I like this. There's the rip. 530s. Are we halted? Or are we just hitting a wall? No, we're not halted. Alright, spread's getting a little bit better. There's 30s. So if we get up to like 550 here is really what I want to see. Okay. I need to take bigger sizing. Here's the problem. Alright, we're squeezing up pretty big here for BMRA. Looks very strong. The float's got to be tiny for this one, but yeah, I'm in BMRA here. We got off $7 gain. It might continue up, but it just stayed there a little bit too long here. We're also looking at NNDM. It's a little bit too late for this one. JBA is another one to watch. I'm still watching DTT here. Really, this one pullback, the 1 minute pullback to $5 looked good, but so we're slightly green on the day. Pretty break even though, to be honest. HTZ. I appreciate that, Roman. Yeah, HTZ just got hammered, which is what, I mean, you guys got to be careful with that type of stuff. Not to try to sound preachy because you guys know me, but watching NNDM here, I don't hate the little 1 minute pullback over 510. We might scalp a few cents. Just depends. RWLK showing up now. RWLK. Too close to the VWAP. Looking at NNDM. I might buy like 50 shares here of this one. I went with 50 shares here. Small position, just 50 shares. We'll maybe add some more if we get a squeeze up. But small share size right now. As for that, I mean, BMRA did rip, so maybe I should have held on to a little bit of there. I'm going to add to this one if it can break 510, since I'm going to have a pretty decent average here. All right, we're in with 200 shares. We're gonna sell half. Oh, we just took half off there, holding 100 shares left. Oh my gosh, you got me out of the full position. I didn't want to get out the full position, man. Oh man, that stupid glitch on Thinkorswim. It does it to me every time. Eric actually helped me with this last time. I have to click away from the screen in order to get it to fill it in here. I mean, I'm green. Man. I mean, I'm green on the day again. 2 green trades, 1 red, but not necessarily what I wanted there. But yeah, again though, going back to what I talked to Mordecai with, scaling in has done me wonders here, and I haven't lost in penny stocks this week yet. Not on a daily basis at least. We're still trading though. We'll find something. Yeah. Hi, John. What's your success rate on Friday? I mean, the last 2 or 3 weeks, it's been 100%. Not 100% per trade accuracy, but 100% daily accuracy. Beating, I was green Friday of last week. I'm green today. I'm green the week before that. So mostly green on Fridays. But again, I'm also very, very. I definitely lower share size on Fridays, and I take it noticeably slower Fridays because. But yeah, it's just one of those days that it doesn't really pay off to push too hard on Fridays most of the time. I don't know. John said there's VVPR. Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind this one. So really what I try to do, Kyle, is like I'm looking for the crossovers. So what you'll see me do is like what I'm really focusing on a lot of the time is like a red to green crossover. So like I'm looking for a stock to drop initially at the opening bell, and then I'm looking for a reversal on the way back up, and then a break of those previous highs. And so what I do is I start to scale in when I start to see a stock reversing with noticeably smaller sizing than I usually would take. And then once I actually get the break of that previous high along with the crossover, that's when I scale in a little bit larger. But it helps me because that 25% that I initially got into gives me a better average when I finally do add some bigger sizing to the position, and I'm able to jump in and scale out quickly. You know, I scalp, and so I just scalp really quickly, and I'm able to make money that way. Kind of like you guys see here, but that's basically what I do. And it works, like I said, regardless. Like, you might look at me and you say, oh, he's making $10 a trade. So what? You know, like, I'm green. It doesn't matter. If I can make $30, $40 a day, which is really what I've been averaging, then I'm happy. You know, 20, 30, 40 bucks a day on a small account, that's all you really need. If you're trying to make more than that, I guess it depends on your strategy and your accuracy rate. But with an accuracy rate as high as I am, and when I'm ending most days green, you know, I'm very happy with 30, 40 bucks a day, because that adds up. You know what I mean? If I can make 30, 40 bucks a day, you know, that's going to add up to, you know, a significant chunk. You know, every 2 weeks it's going to be like, you know, 25%. You know, so not bad. No, I'm looking at VVPR. It's just not really my strategy. We had the crossover play, but what happened is that the crossover was too close to the VWAP. And so even though it ended up working out, there was too much risk there for me. Caitlin. How do you scan for stocks in the morning? What's up, Alina? So I really scan. I look for the top gappers. What I really do for my strategy is that I just look for stocks that are gapping down. Or no, I look for stocks that are gapping up, per se, right? So I'm looking for stocks. I'm just really, to be honest, I just look for the top like 4 or 5 gappers every single day. So like I look for the best volume gaps, and then once the opening bell happens, I have, you know, like just to show you guys this, I have, you know, 8 charts over here. You know, so like I have a lot of charts that I can watch, and so I make my watch list. You can actually see my watch list, just to weatherman it really quick. My watch list is over there. And so you can see my watch list, and really I just watch those stocks. I put them on my monitor here, and when the opening bell happens, I just look for red moves. I look for drops, and then I look for reversals with the moving average crossover in play. I also have a script on Thinkorswim that's programmed to alert me when the crossover actually happens. And so once I see the crossover you know, pop up on the script or on the screen, then I know it's about to happen. It's John, Caitlin. No worries though, either way is fine. Are reading chats useless on microcap and OTC stocks? I mean, I wouldn't say they're completely useless, but I don't think there's too much value in just watching for hype. I mean, you get a lot of people that just try to pump up stocks. Like, there's no use to it, you know? Like, if you think that pumping up a stock in, like, a small chat room is going to influence it in any significant way, you know, it might not, though. And it seems just like a waste of time. You know, I don't ever want to be that guy that's trying to pump up a stock that I'm holding, you know? And I think we get it a lot everywhere we go. Look at BL and K showing up on the list. BL and K. Let's see. SPY is, I haven't traded futures today yet because this is the SPY right now. Chop City, Chop City, and I'm not trying to get stuck in that chop. NNDM pulling back some. Yeah, I mean, we've tried both. Nikolai. Yeah, if you want my playlist, I got you, bro. Here you go. Let me find it. There's one of those is the referral link if you want to help me out, if you want to sign up, and the other one is my actual playlist on the bottom. CLVS is showing up here. CLVS. Yeah, I don't know what I want to do. I mean, I've been green every single week, and so this has been, I think this is the first time I've been 100% daily accuracy in penny stocks. I think it's the first time. I haven't lost at all this week. Not on a per trade basis though. What I mean is I have not ended the day red at all this week in penny stocks, and so we're making some money. Honestly, dude, part of me wants to save up that other, 15 grand and just go for this, go for my trading with no PDT, because a lot of confidence in penny stocks right now, just because I've been making money every day with them. I use TD Ameritrade. Yeah, see, I was looking at BMRA for the dip, and it dipped beautifully there. Yeah, I'm looking at an MDM too. Yeah, nice little dip down to 5 here, which is what I originally took advantage of right here, but I don't know if I want him now. You know what I wish TD Ameritrade had was a way for me to look up, like, how much profit I've made this week, like, excluding deposits or withdrawals. SGBX crossover. Yeah, I mean, like I said, people make fun of me. People act like I'm a bad trader. In the end, you can't fake what I do here. You know what I mean? Like, people could say I'm a bad trader, but it's like, dude, I've been green every day this week. Last week I was red one day. Last week, which was Thursday? Maybe, no, I think Monday I was red last week. But every other day I was green. The week before that, I lost one day. You know? And so it gives me a lot of confidence. It's really exciting, to be honest, because it's like, I know if I could just limit my drawdowns, then I'm good and I can make money. And the strategy I use works, and it kind of shows the credence and the importance of back testing. Stocks is the only loss I've had today, which was very small. Both of my wins were twice as big as this loss. So, you know, like I said, it gives me a lot of confidence there. Lost about $100 in futures just now. Let me see. Yeah, 104 bucks. Tried to catch the market. I gotta be careful with futures just because the way they're moving today is very choppy and sideways in the Emini. Watching CLVS2 here. That's right, Paul. Have you learned anything about trading from CNBC or Fox Business? No. Not at all. Nothing. Literally nothing. That's not really my style. I'm a short-term day trader, bro. So, you know, as for if I learned anything from them, no. You know, just not my style, so to speak. Mitch was just a guest on stream yesterday. I appreciate it, Rob Boy. Thank you, man. Yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, I just got a lot of confidence in my trading now. You know what I mean? It takes time to build confidence in some of these, but I just got a lot now. You know, it feels good. CLVS is ripping up. We got KXIN. Over 207. Parabolic. Market's just so choppy. Down a little bit in futures today, but small, and market's just sideways. KXIN is the only one that I really see that looks good. Nah, I don't use Robinhood. I mean, pre-market trading might be more profitable. I don't know. It's not really my game, so to speak. Yeah, KXI parabolic halted. STAF from yesterday. What indicators? I use VWAP a lot. You know, mostly VWAP strategies mixed with like a little bit of like trend confirmations using moving averages or scalping indicators. Nothing too crazy though. Mostly just you know, short-term trends analyzation is all I really focus on and use in the market. So yeah, I'm usually like using the VWAP to like figure out the short-term trend, and then like attacking that short-term trend with scalps is usually all I'm really doing, or like trying to focus on is just short-term trend analyzation with like scalping. That's really it. And so I'm looking for like quick changes over and under the VWAP, stuff like that I can profit from, like quick momentum on the downside or upside. I'm looking at STAF here. Not loving it. We're gonna keep an eye on it and just kind of chill and wait for it, but. BMRA showing up on the scans. BMRA. Kind of breaking highs here. I don't know. It's Friday, guys, so I'm gonna you know, treat the market a little bit carefully here. BMRA is moving a little bit. We also have SXTC showing up on the scanners. Yeah, that's what it is. Rob Boy, very profitable. Yeah, we got NNDM showing up as well. Alright, so I'm up a little bit today in futures here. I'm scalping the market. We finally got some momentum. One thing that has been doing me much better in the futures market is I started to use limit orders instead of market. I started to jump in on the asking price and the bid, and you know, it's just done me noticeably better. I'm up 123 bucks today. And so, you know, I'll take that green day any day of the week if you guys want to see the actual balance here. I did have to reset my account yesterday if you guys didn't catch that in Discord. But how do I do this? I don't know how to get it, but yeah, I'm up 120 bucks. I don't know how to pull that up, but let me see if I can figure it out. I gotta put my P&L somewhere on here. ABTX is showing up, NNDM is making some moves. You're gonna see me noticeably slow down here, team. Like, I'm gonna slow down drastically just because it's Friday. Yeah, go ahead, Q. Hey, yeah, y'all remember to hit that like button, team. Click that bell, turn on notifications. Market's finally ripping up. We got some momentum with it, luckily. Right here, if you guys want to see, here, I don't know how else to do this. $123. Like I said, this is still the challenge account. I'm trying to make this so you guys can actually see it. I don't know how to get this working. There you go. You see it? So it is the challenge account, but you can see the top. There it is, 123 bucks. I wanted to show you guys that. But yeah, we're still working on it. I think the hardest part of this challenge on Top Step, the hardest part is that, like, with my own trading, I would just trade small. But since it's a challenge account and you obviously want to beat the challenge, you know, you got to trade larger than you usually would, which is going to cause some volatility. Sometimes I think the best way to do it is just try to swing big until you hit that, and then take it easy once you hit the goal, just to put in the minimum amount of trades needed for it. And the way the Top Step platform works is okay, so yeah, basically it's like a funded account program, but it's a cheaper way. Like, if you've ever wanted to get involved with the futures market, they have a funded account program for it. And like I said, the way that kind of works is they make you prove yourself as a trader before they actually fund you. And so with the base one, and listen guys, like I said, I'm going to say this and I'm going to post an affiliate link. I haven't plugged anything. I've been streaming for hours at this point. I haven't plugged anything. And so I'm going to take the time, you know, plug Top Step. And if that bothers you, you're not being reasonable. Just give everybody a heads up here before I say this, because everything we do here is free. Anyways, but yeah, the way it works is it's a funded account program. So basically they give you a demo account and you have to prove yourself with that demo account. So you have to trade at least 5 days. The base package is like less than $130 for the subscription, and you only have to make $2,000 in profit while following the rest of their rules, and you have to trade at least 5 days. But if you can make that $2,000 in profit while following the rest of their rules, they fund you $30,000 to trade futures with. They give you $30,000 in equity to trade futures as a proprietary trader. There's no PDT rule in futures. Decent amount of leverage, and you're basically just trading the S&P 500, which I have a ton of experience with, and that's why I've been able to be green so much. I did have to reset once, and I think even the best traders on this are going to have to reset from time to time when you consider the type of challenge it actually is, right? Like, even the best traders are going to have to reset, especially me with this past 7 days being my first ever days trading futures. It's going to take me a little bit of time to get used to it, but I think now that I'm used to it, it should be easy. I just got to be patient with it. But again, it's one of the cheaper ways. Like, if you want to get around the PDT rule, try the futures market out. Really profitable, and it goes by ticks instead. So like with futures here, let me pull this up. With futures, it goes by ticks instead of cents per share, right? And so you're buying contracts, and for every contract you buy, each tick up or down is $12.50 in profit or losses. Right, and so if it goes against me 1 tick, I lose $12.50. If it goes up with me 1 tick, I make $12.50. If I buy 2 contracts, every tick up or down is $25. If I buy 3 contracts, every tick up or down is $37.50. If I buy 4 contracts, every tick up or down is $50. And I think every tick equals out to 25 cents on the S&P 500. Is I think what it is, but I'm not 100% sure. But the point is, learn these contract styles if you're going to get involved with futures. And the reason you need to learn is because it's different. It can add up. It might seem $12.50 might seem small, but that adds up. And you want to be very careful if you're trading futures. And that's been the most difficult thing for me to get used to. But at the same time, I think it's reasonable. And I think especially if you're a new trader in the futures market, you really just want to buy 1 contract max. Like, you don't want to go over 1 contract because, again, this stuff adds up quickly. And I'm just trying to give you guys some advice if you are getting traded in futures. It adds up quickly. And so what you need to do is you need to create a system and just take it slow if you're going to trade it. But yeah, this is basically trading the S&P 500. The Emini is basically following the S&P 500. And all futures contracts really mean is all futures contracts really are betting on the future price of something, whether it's cattle prices, gold, silver, S&P 500, so forth and so on. And so if y'all want to check out the same platform I'm using that allows you to do all this stuff, like I said, it's the cheapest funded account program I've used. I've used a lot of different ones, like Toro, for instance, was $300 a subscription. This one, the base one, is like, if you use my link, you get 20% off. And if you use my link, it's like the base package is like $120, $130. And so noticeably cheaper than any other one I've ever used. They give you a decent amount of leverage. There's no PDT rule, and it just makes a lot of sense. So if you want to check that out, help support your boy here, there's the link. Y'all go check that out. Everything free, Do you think it's possible to trade without hotkeys? I mean, I do every day. I don't trade with hotkeys. I don't like hotkeys. The reason I don't like hotkeys is because I would like to, I want to be more in control of it. And I feel like with hotkeys, I'm in less control. For some reason, maybe it's just me. I just don't like using hotkeys. But I day trade scalping even. I scalp penny stocks every day. Haven't lost once this week. Been green every single day this week, and I don't use hotkeys at all. They told me they've been in business for 10 years. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And like I said, I've used a lot of funded account programs over the years. I've used a ton. I've used like multiple, like over 3 or 4. Different funded account programs for different things, futures, stocks, so forth and so on. And a lot of them get a really bad name, and a lot of them are really bad reviewed on these other websites, like tradingschools.org is one that's super hard on these funded account programs. They actually reviewed Top Step, I think it was like 5 out of 5. And this is a notoriously strict website on these funded account programs. They rated Top Step like highly ranked on their website. And so it's a legit funded account program, and it's the cheapest one I've used. And I think if you guys can learn anything from my trading, I don't ever claim to be an expert, but I think if you guys can learn anything, it's the discipline that I have with it. Not with futures. Futures is a new market. I'm trading different sizing dynamics than I'm usually trading, but specifically with penny stocks, I hope you guys can understand the discipline, where I only trade once or twice a day, maybe 3 times, and that's fine. I don't need to trade more than that. If I can end green, I'm green. I think the biggest mistake traders make is they try to push too hard, and they have these big drawdowns in their account from pushing too hard and refusing to just kind of limit their trading. And I think if you're going to be a trader, you have to learn to take a step back, slow it down, and not force things. And that's what you see me do. I have my own window of time that I trade penny stocks, and that's all I really care about, If I can make my money and be done, I'm done. I don't need to make a ton of money in the market. If I can make 10, 20, 30, 40 bucks a day, that's plenty. That adds up over time. And, you can try to be like the gurus and make thousands of dollars. That's great. But if you don't have the money for it, it's going to be hard. And it's going to take time. And it's not something that most traders click immediately. Like I've been working with this dude, Jonathan, kind of helping him out. And he's trading larger than I am now. But I've been working with him, and we've been kind of trading buddies for like years now. Years, and he struggled for a long time back and forth, and I've done what I can to give him good advice, best advice I can, while also telling him I'm not an expert. And he finally kind of clicked. He was in the stream earlier, but it finally kind of clicked for him, and he's been killing it in the market lately. And so it kind of goes to show it usually is not going to happen right away. But if you stick with it and you focus and you work with it, you can hit that. And he's making hundreds of dollars a day now, so I'm really proud of that dude. Yeah, just kind of shows that you can do that, How do you sell market? Isn't it a bit dangerous? I mean, it depends on what you... It depends. I wouldn't suggest anybody else copy me in that way. I use market orders just because I've noticed that with penny stocks, the liquidity is sometimes a little bit worse. And so when I'm trying to get out, I need to get out immediately. And usually it's not significant enough for me to need to use a limit order. And so I don't mind using a market order specifically for my exits. But for my entries, I always use limit. Mike, have you ever heard of the man Deshaun? Mike? Deshaun, I heard Deshaun was the greatest trader ever, in the world. Possibly, the universe. Who knows? Deshaun. Also, Roland. What's his name? Roland. Peter Roland. Also, guys, do not follow any of them. I'm being purely sarcastic here before somebody goes and reaches out to them. Now we get a bunch of spam bots that post Peter Roland helped me achieve $5,723.76.5. Yeah, I'm just being sarcastic, Mike. My bad, bro. Maybe a bad joke, I see. Speaking of ICs, ISEE, IC is pushing up, trying to break highs here. Look at ISEE. DXF. Yeah, NNDM is going absolutely crazy this morning. I made a little bit on it, but obviously I could have made more. Alright, so QQQ dropped some a strategy. Said, so you basically wait for the trend to make a new high of the day and you start count for a two-legged pullback and you enter the position as soon as it breaks the previous candle's top. I could send a photo. Alright, let's check it out. The 2-to-1 risk reward. BMRA. BMRA showing up. Hey, y'all hit that subscribe button as well, team. Click the bell, turn on notifications. We go live every single day. Let's try to get those likes up to over 100 if we haven't hit that yet. Yeah, we got 85 likes in here. Let's get those likes up to over 100. Just email me at beginnertrading@gmail.com. I'll post this link. The real estate laws here in Texas, in order for me to advertise my real estate services on any type of social media, I have to post my broker information. And so with that said, if anybody, do not call the number on this website, because the number, this isn't my number. This is just the office in Houston's number for EXP Realty. But yeah, if anybody needs to buy or sell real estate, especially if you're in Texas, I could be your realtor. We could talk trading the whole time. Let me know if you need a real estate agent. Even if you're not in Texas, even if you're anywhere in the U.S. and you need to buy or sell real estate right now, I can refer you to the best agent in your area, or what I think is the best agent in your area. And so if you need real estate anywhere in the U.S. or really anywhere, I can refer you to some good agents. And especially if you need a real estate agent here in Texas, I can be your agent. We can talk trading the whole time. So here's that link. Yeah, I'm also a real estate agent. You need some web development stuff, I got you on that too. If you need a... Alright, Mark is breaking highs here. But yeah, if you wanna, the best way to reach out to me is by email at beginnertrading@gmail.com. Beginnertrading@gmail.com is my email. That's the best place to reach out. So first leg up, one leg, first leg down, second leg up, second leg down. That makes sense. I kind of see what you're doing. So you're kind of like buying it right when it breaks the wick, the low of that wick. That makes sense, because a lot of the time if it retraces and it moves up, it's going to be strong. So actually that makes sense. Q. Yeah, a lot of futures trading is trend confirmation trading. I'm a scalper, so trends are less significant. I'm just looking for breaks and pullbacks and stuff like that. But yeah. Sorry guys, my ears are ringing. I think it's probably just I think it's probably the acid reflux. You know, I got off the omeprazole that I was on, and you know, I didn't realize that the omeprazole, when you take it for a few, you know, a month or two, it causes a rebound effect, and so it might be the acid reflux in my ears, man. But you know, let me look this up. Okay, so I think I have GERD. But yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably what it is. I don't know. It's all, you know, speculative at this point, but I'm pretty sure I got off the omeprazole, and so I'm kind of working on not being on acid PPIs, proton pump inhibitors, and so I'm still working on getting off of the omeprazole, but man, it's rough. Hey, nice cow. Hey, congrats, bro. And I would have jumped in the SPY here. Like you can see, I'm up 284 in the account so far. I'm not down at all, but mostly just scalping these. But you can see the SPY itself. ANTE is showing up. Hey, I appreciate the sub, Matthew. Welcome, man. Appreciate the love, bro. Welcome to the team, dude. But yeah, ANTE's ripping out. Nice little 1 minute pullback there. Yeah, I'll check those out. I appreciate that, Paul. Yeah, man, it's been a constant battle. Like, I'm pretty sure it's just acid reflux, though. It makes the most sense that it would be acid reflux. Because I was on omeprazole for the last, like, 2 months, two to 3 months. And so being on it that long, when you stop taking it, it is going to cause, like, a rebound effect from it. And consequently cause the acid reflux to get worse, right? And so what I'm really focusing on doing is just dealing with the acid reflux for right now, and then, you know, trying to get off of the omeprazole, because the omeprazole is not good for you either. And so that's kind of what I'm working on. But yeah, if you're in the penny stocks, ANTE, SPRT, looking okay. I also did have one, I also did have one video out on the futures strategies I've been using so far. And so if you want to check out the future strategies, you are a hypochondry. But yeah, no, what I was gonna say is you want to check out, it's not that I'm a hypochondriac, guys, like, that's not what I'm worried about. Honestly, it's what I'm worried about is the symptoms that I have. And so if I was a hypochondriac, I would be labeling diseases or illnesses on symptoms that were not there, right? Like, these are obvious symptoms that I'm experiencing. I'm not just making these symptoms up. Again, though, I think most of it has to do with and I'm not disagreeing that I'm a hypochondriac. I might be a little bit of one, you know. But hey, Einstein was crazy too, you know. But no, I think what it really is that I've historically had a really strong stomach. And so when I have these stomach problems, I'm not used to it. And so I got on like a proton pump inhibitor. And I think as I stop taking it, it causes a rebound effect, making it worse. Yeah, Austin, it was mostly ironical, but you know, I'm just messing with him a little bit, but I'm not disagreeing with him. I might be a hypochondriac. It's plausible, you know. Hey, I appreciate the sub, Hero. Take one. Thank you, Hero. Welcome in. Take 1 teaspoon of Bragg's ACV. Squeeze 1 lemon, 1 pinch of pink Himalayan salt, teaspoon of organic raw honey, tall glass of water every morning before I eat. Then I take a probiotic. Yeah, what I've been doing every day, and it's been honestly helping me with my nausea, is I've been waking up every day and I've been drinking like a big glass of kombucha, which is what is kombucha? It's a probiotic, but the way it's a probiotic is because it's man, I can't think of what it is. I know the word. Hey, I appreciate the sub. Whoever sub, let me see. Tino, thank you for the sub, man. Welcome to the team. Yeah, y'all hit that subscribe button, guys. Click the bell. But I'll check that out, Trader T. I appreciate it. It's fermented vegetables is basically what kombucha is. I was trying to think of fermented. I don't know why I couldn't think of fermented, but yeah, kombucha is fermented vegetables, which creates a lot of probiotics. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's it. And honestly, it helps. Like, the kombucha helps, you know. Yeah, I'm not doing that, Austin. No way, bro. But yeah, it's been another green day, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and hang it up. Yeah, well, the taste is terrible, Lauren. The taste is horrible, man. But it's good for you. You know, as is with most things that are good for you, they taste really bad. But they're still good for you, you know? Yeah. But no, with that, well, all that said, though, I'm gonna go ahead and probably close it down. That is 5 for 5 green days today, guys. You guys have watched me all week this week. No losing days. All green days. And I'm going to go over a few strategies that I've used that were not necessarily the crossover strategy this weekend in a video. I'm also going to have that futures trading video that comes out. But if you want to see a breakdown of some of, the strategies, I'll post this link. Y'all go check that out. There's a kind of a video breakdown of one of the future strategies I use, but I've been using a few other ones where I'll break down a little bit more in depth in a video this weekend. Like I said, guys, we also have you can also go check out the futures platform that I'm using. I'll post this link one more time. You can get 20% off of the futures funded account program. The cheapest funded account program I've been in. The base one I think is like $140, $130 if you use my link to get some percentages off of that. But yeah, basically they're gonna give you a 30K challenge account, and if you can prove yourself as a futures trader, they're gonna fund you as a proprietary trader with an 80% profit split. And so once you're funded, if you can make $1,000, you keep 800 of that. they keep 200. And I think you get to keep 100% of your first withdrawal as well on the futures platform. And so it makes a lot of sense. There are some rules that you have to follow, but if you want to get funded as a futures trader, or even if you want to learn futures, instead of risking your hard-earned money right when you're getting started, try these funded account programs like I'm doing. They're super cheap. This one is very highly reviewed by, very strict websites. They're really strict on these funded account programs. This one is super highly reviewed. You can check it out there. Like I said, you get 20% off if you go through my link. And yeah, guys, with all that said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Y'all go check out my man Trader Mike's Discord. He's got some great traders that hang out there every single day. A lot of talented traders in Trader Mike's. They're talking about some great call-outs, great picks in the market. Y'all go check that out as well. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Real quick, guys, before we close it down, hit that like button before you leave. We need 6 more likes to break 100 likes today, and that would make every day that we broke 100 likes this week on the channel. Smash the like button. You know you want to. Everybody's doing it. Click that like button, hit the bell, turn on notifications. I'll see you guys later. Everybody's doing it. The cool kids are doing it. Hey, I appreciate it, Wendy. Thank you. Yeah, like I said, guys, good luck. We'll see you guys later. Have a good day. I love you all. Smash that like button. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate the love, guys, and we'll see you guys later.